So I'm just gonna say right off the bat that this one's gonna feel a little bit like a sales pitch, but I promise I'm not trying to get you into a 2004 Subaru Impreza with 250,000 miles. No, I'm trying to get you excited about one of the coolest, most functional ingredients out there. It can make your poultry and meat more tender and more flavorful. It can fast track your pickles. It can season and improve everything from carrots to salmon to sourdough bread to fried chicken. If I were the kind of person that used the term game changer, I might even use it here. Who am I kidding? It's a game changer. Ever stop to wonder how it's possible that mild-tasting soybeans, which give us blank slate soy milk, can also be transformed into soy sauce and miso, two of the most complexly flavored foods on the planet? Or how white rice, equally subtle in flavor, can be turned into a fragrant, amazing glass of sake? Each of these products owes its existence to a very special fungus called Koji. Koji is an ancient mold called Aspergillus oryza. It was likely domesticated for food in Asia over 9,000 years ago. And it's a particularly interesting and useful fungus because of its ability to unleash two powerful types of enzymes, proteases and amylases. Both are great at breaking down large molecules into smaller pieces. Proteases work on protein, breaking them down into peptides and amino acids. And amylases go to work on starch, breaking long chains down into small sugars. Why does this matter? Well, let's look at Koji's role in making miso. For one particular type of miso, Koji spores are introduced to partially steamed white rice. And they're held in a humid environment to allow the Koji spores to start working on that starch. It breaks down some of the starch into sugars, which it then uses to fuel its growth. The Koji inoculated rice is then mixed with soybeans, which are a great source of protein. The protease enzymes break down some of that protein into deeply flavorful amino acids. One in particular, glutamic acid, is the foundation of the savory taste we call umami. Over the months or even years that miso ages, Koji fuels the complete transformation from humble grains and legumes to an umami and sugar-rich flavor powerhouse. Koji works this way to give us countless traditional foods and beverages, but for such an old fungus, it's capable of learning some impressive new tricks. Some of the most innovative and experimental cooking happening in America right now is happening with Koji. David Chang has pushed the miso envelope by subbing in protein-rich ingredients like chickpeas, sunflower seeds, and pistachios for soybeans, creating entirely new products with rich flavor. Jeremy Umansky of Larder in Cleveland has developed methods for applying Koji spores directly to things like pork chops and scallops. The mold grows on the outside of the proteins, creating something that looks like camembert cheese. Under that fuzzy coating lies truly transformed foods. They're sweeter, umami-rich, and more tender. There's a link to Jeremy's TED Talk on Koji below this video. You gotta check it out. Rich Shio of Our Cook Quest has used Koji to rapidly turn mild-tasting ricotta into a grateable cheese with the depth of flavor of good Parmesan. He runs workshops where he teaches intrepid Koji explorers things like Koji accelerated charcuterie. Now, if this all sounds a little out there, stick with me, because there's a form of Koji that Japanese cooks have used for hundreds of years in their everyday cooking. It's called Shio Koji. It's primarily used as a marinade, and what a marinade it is. Let's go to the kitchen and check it out. The first step to making Shio Koji is buying some Koji inoculated rice online. It comes in a container like this, and it will say rice and Aspergillus oryza on the back, and it looks like this. Next, put some Koji rice in a lidded container. I said, put some Koji rice in a lidded container. And then we add 140-degree water and salt, and we whisk until the salt is dissolved. Cover it with a lid and let it ferment at room temperature until it smells sweet, fruity, slightly funky, and looks like this. That'll take about 7 days, after which point you can pop it in the fridge for up to 6 months. Okay, cool, but what do we do with it now? The Shio Koji itself has a sweet, salty, kind of funky flavor on its own, but remember with Koji, it's all about enzymatic action. If we add a few tablespoons to some chicken parts and refrigerate them overnight, the protease enzymes go to work on some of the protein, breaking them down into savory amino acids. That protein breakdown also means tenderization. The end result? Chicken that is more tender, more chickeny, and packed with umami. But you don't have to stop just there. Shio Koji marinated chicken makes the best fried chicken you've ever had. That would be Koji fried chicken, the real KFC. The dredge for this fried chicken recipe, which is by Koji explorer Tim Chin, actually contains additional rice Koji for a crust that is super flavorful and crunchy. So now we've learned that Koji makes fried chicken, which is already really great, that much better. But Koji could also work wonders on, how do you say, more challenged poultry? That's right, I'm talking about Koji turkey. Just forget all of those bad Thanksgiving turkeys you've had over the years. Just puree up some of your Shio Koji and mix it into a brine with additional salt and sugar. Pop in your turkey parts and let that chill in the fridge overnight. Then just blast them in a hot oven until they're deep golden brown. This stuff is insanely juicy. I mean, look at that. It's also ultra meaty. You know how most Americans roast a turkey one time a year on Thanksgiving? Well, if most Americans had Shio Koji in their kitchen, that would change. And Shio Koji obviously isn't just for poultry. You can make Koji pickled vegetables, Koji cured fish, Koji burgers, and the list goes on and on. Honestly, I'd love to stick around and talk about all of the ways we use Koji, but you see that I have Koji fried chicken waiting for me over here, right? Without a doubt, this is how to eat Koji. So, are you ready to go down the Koji rabbit hole? Or are you already down there? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe. We'll see you next time.